I would just like to give you a brief overview of what this project actually is. So, as you have already noticed, these are instructional videos, mathematical instructional videos, I think, and for others, again, they are instructional videos. So, these videos are originally in Bengali. You will be translating them to English. As you have already been sent mails over this, I think everyone is well versed with the project details. You have to translate it from Bengali to English. So I hope everybody is comfortable with these languages, as in for translating Bengali into English. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So,
Ma'am,
yeah.
actually, I have a question about that.
Hmm.
Yesterday, the projects we have worked on
Hmm.
are to be translated from Bengali to Bengali in transcription,
That
but
is that is not the translation at all, ma'am. In the curation stage, it is just the transcription.
yes,
Now you will be working on the translation part.
okay. For the translation part, we have to use English. English, as I say, Hindi or English mixture kind of thing.
Yes. So in the videos itself, I think you have come across parts where, although the video is, as an although the person is speaking in Bengali, there are some words that are put in English. The mathematical signs, for example, or the numbers, those are in English. So when you are translating it to Hindi, it will be a mixture of Hindi and English. So English.
Okay.
Yes. So just make sure, just a second. Yeah, so once you have finished your curation, we will review it and we will be submitting them ahead for, we will move them to the translation process, the translation part of it. So, why your transcription in the curation stage needs to be accurate is because if at all you notice any issues in the transcription while translating this, you will not be able to change the source text. This text in Bengali, it cannot be changed. So when you are curating, it is absolutely imperative that you check the transcription before you ask us to submit the video, because we need to be sure that whatever has showed up in the segments matches whatever the person is saying, and so that we can translate it accurately to English. Is that clear?
Ma'am, can you please repeat?
Okay, so once you finish the curation and the transcription in the curation stage, we will submit your videos to the translation part of it. So in the translation part, you are expected to translate from Bengali to English. But if at all you notice any issues in the transcription, if you notice any change to be made in the source text, you will not be able to make this change over here, and you cannot go back to the curation stage to make that change, because your video is already processed and moved to the second stage. So when you are curating, when you are transcribing the video, make sure that before you ask us to submit, you have checked each and every segment and reviewed it against whatever the person in the video is saying. So make sure that your transcription is as accurate as possible, so that you don't face any issues while translating, and nobody has any issues in the third stage, which is the voiceover stage. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So, coming to the voiceover stage is not something that you have to speak for manually. Voiceover here on Rian is done through machine voice. Okay, it is machine voiceover. So, in this stage, whatever you will translate to Hindi, you will have an option for generating a machine spoken voice. These voices are trained by AI, and all you have to do is hit record and it will generate the voice on its own. So you as translators do not have to speak anything to have the voice, to generate the voiceover. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the voiceover stage, I will explain how to go over this in tomorrow's training. Today we will be focusing on just the translation. Is that clear?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
ma'am.
Perfect. So again, so this is how your translation video will look like. When you submit the videos and when you get your job codes, this is what your screen should look like. Is my can you guys see my screen or not?
No, no, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, just a second. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is what your screen will look like once your video is processed and taken to the translation stage. So this is the source text. Like I said, you will not be able to edit anything here. This is processed and finalized. This is the target column. This is where you will have to put the translated text. This is your video, and this column, the source and target column, these are your machine translation engines. So these engines are provided for you to for your ease of translation. Of course, as translators, you are free to translate these segments manually. But if at all you need any help while translating, these are the search engines provided to you: Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and ChatGPT. So here you can see 4 search engines. We will be adding another search engine here, which is called Bhashini. So Bhashini will help you to get a very accurate literary translation. So whenever you are translating this, you will be able to use that engine for accurate literary translation. These 4 engines are also accurate, but like I said, um, again, it's a machine, so it might not be contextually accurate. So this is why you have multiple options present. So you can choose whichever search engine you want to go for and have your translation for you. So how to go about this? I have selected, so this is the first selected segment. This gray color means that the first segment is selected. Now to translate this segment, you can see that this is the source. This is what I am going to translate. I click on the search engine and I get the Hindi part of it. Alright. If I realize that no, this is not what I want in my translation, I can just click on another search engine. I can compare what they have given. For example, see, now Google says namaskar vidyarthiyo, but Microsoft says namaskar chhatro. So whatever you think is contextually accurate for this video, you can choose that translation. If you think that this translation is correct for Microsoft, you just double click it and it shall appear in your target column. Is it clear so far?
Double click on the text
Yes,
or the column.
you double click here in the target column.
Okay.
You double click here. So now so since right now I have selected the translation for Microsoft, if I think that no, I want to go to Google and Google's translation is more accurate, I have double clicked on it, I get this message. Do you really want to replace translated text? I can say yes, and that text shall appear in my target column over here.
Got it.
All right. Yeah. So this is how the translation works. Again, phonetic typing needs to be off, because if you think that no, all 4 search engines are giving me varied translations, and if you want to have a combination of all 4, then you can manually type it over here with your virtual keyboards or your desktop keyboards or your laptop keyboards, whatever you're comfortable with. You can type it out directly here. All right.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So if at all you are not comfortable with this view, you have this option. You go to view and you go to show video on the left. Once I click this, this is my view. So if you are comfortable with this layout, so you are free to use this. If not, then I can just go to view again I can click on this and I'm back to my original screen. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Mhm.
Is it recording? Is the recorder on?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. So even if, although we are recording this meeting, I request everybody to please take notes of everything that is being discussed today, because, like I said yesterday, also I had requested that everybody take notes, so that you guys have the pointers for how to go about your work. Um, the little things like phonetic typing needs to be off, or what column should you be seeing on your screen when you're working. So all of this needs to be noted down, and you should have it with you, even though we are sharing the recording. So if everything is clear for translation, we have quite some time left, so I think we can move to the voiceover part of the training. Is everybody comfortable with this?
Okay, there is nothing more to translation. Means the project we have done yesterday,
Hmm.
we have to translate those transcript parts, right? In Hindi.
In the curation stage, you
Yes,
mean?
in the curation stage, those sentence which we time stamped or
Yes,
edited or curated, we have to translate them into Hindi,
correct. In English.
in English.
Yes, correct. So once everyone's curation videos are completed, and I guess all of your doubts today have been answered for curation. So please revisit your videos once, apply all of the pointers that we discussed today, and get back to us about the submission of the video so that we can process it and push it to the translation and voiceover part. All right? Yes?
Yes, sir.
But the translation part, in the translation part,
Hmm.
the Google or the Microsoft, it will translate into English, right? Only English.
It will translate to Hindi, sir. It will translate to Hindi. The search engine is
Hindi.
for Hindi. So
Then we
English,
have to make it English.
no, you don't have to make it English. There are certain words in the video which are spoken in English. So, like, I think if you have listened to the entire video, the numbers or the
Oh, I
signs,
understand.
yeah, the equal to
Understand.
signs, those are in English. So, those you will have to um, write. So the script will be Hindi, but you will have it'll still be the English words that you're typing out in Hindi, the same way that you did with Bengali in the transcription phase.
Yes,
Yeah.
they will stay as it is. The numerical signs or numbers.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Any other questions for translation? Okay, I think if there are no questions, then we can move over to the voiceover part. So the voice over is, as I mentioned, it is the machine voice over that you will be applying to the Hindi or Hinglish part of this video. Now that you have, once you translate all of this, just a second. Once you translate all of this, you will have the option of generating a machine voiceover for it. So when you are in the voiceover stage, please make sure that these columns are open in front of you. You go to view, you remove the side panel. The side panel is there only for your translation purposes. Once you're done with translation, you can remove side panel. You come to view and you say just click on show side panel. Okay. In the VO stage, these are the columns you will require: recording text, speaker. You go to show hide columns and comment. So all of this should be present on your screen when you are generating the machine voiceovers. Okay.
Can you repeat this part again? I'm just taking a note.
Yes. So when you are in the machine voiceover stage, you will have to have all of these columns in front of you. When you are translating, you will require the side panel, but once you're done with the translation, you come to view, you click on show side panel, and that should go away. You come to show or hide VO columns, show or hide voiceover columns, recording text, speaker, audio deviation, voiceover options. These columns need to stay on your screen. Then you move up to show hide columns and you click on comment. The comment column should also be there in your video. Okay, all of this should be present on your screen. Is that clear?
Yes, okay.
Okay, perfect. So just give me 1 second, please. Yeah. So once you are in the VO stage, you have to give it a machine voice. This is your source text, your translated text. What is the recording text? The recording text is the text that you want the machine to read out or generate the voiceover for. You click on this arrow so that your translated segment comes into the recording text, and this is where you have to sort of edit the text to generate emotions. So how do you generate emotions? You generate the emotions with punctuation marks. In the recording text, the punctuation marks do not play any grammatical role. They play the role of generating emotions or intonations or to change the voice pitch. Okay, so just for starters, let's just record one text for you guys. I come over here in voiceover options to the three dots. I click on machine recording. I come to Rian TTS Hindi. This person is okay. Okay. Male, and this voice should just pick up. So if you want, you can of course choose which voice you think is accurate for this guy. Since you've heard him speak, just check which voice matches this person. You can select it after listening to it. Let's say I select this guy, Swayam Talks. I click on start recording. So now it has generated a recording for me. So let's see what happens.
नमस्कार विद्यार्थियों, आज मैं आपके बीच पुनः आया हूँ गणित के एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण विषय के बारे में।
Was that audible?
Yes, yes, it was.
Okay, so like you can see, it has generated a Hindi speech, or right now it's just Hindi, but once you have the English words filtered in, it will be English. So right now the translated text has a generated voiceover. Okay, so in the recording text, once you have generated it, what you have to do is you have to check if the intonation or the pitch of this generated voiceover matches that of whatever has been spoken in Bengali. For example, if after Namaskar Vidyarthiyo in Bengali he has taken a small pause, then you have to add that pause manually by giving 2 commas or 3 hyphens or a semicolon. This will allow uh, the machine to understand that after Namaskar Vidyarthiyo, it needs to take a small pause and then continue with the rest of the sentence. We will be sending the punctuation mark glossary over mail. Once you are at the voiceover stage, you will be able to use those punctuations in the recording text to give the intonation and voice modulation that it requires. So let's say he has taken a small breath after नमस्कार विद्यार्थियों एंड आज मैं आपके बीच पुनः आया हूँ गणित के एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण विषय. Okay, so I guess this has not been translated very accurately, but just make sure that this does not happen whenever you are translating. Let's say after आया हूँ he has also taken a pause and Ganit is emphasized. Okay, so once I have given these punctuations, I go to voiceover options, I go to machine recording and I click on start recording. So now it will incorporate the punctuations as intonations and emphasis and it will generate a new voiceover for us.
नमस्कार विद्यार्थियों, आज मैं आपके बीच पुनः आया हूँ गणित के एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण विषय के बारे में.
Was that audible? Yes. So if you noticed, it has emphasized the word Ganit because we asked it to. We gave the punctuations for double inverted commas, which means that we want the machine to emphasize this word, which it has. Okay. Does everybody understand the punctuation aspect in the recording text?
Yes.
Yes, means we don't have to be grammatically correct. Just we need to add some emotion and pauses, and we can repeat full stops or
Yes.
quotation for that.
Correct. That's exactly correct. But make sure that you're not making those changes in the target translation. Okay. Those punctuations. Just make sure that they are in the recording text only. Don't give any. Don't change the translation according to recording text. All right.
Understood.
Yeah. So in this, there is another column in the view that. Just a second. Yeah. The target audio waveform needs to be present on your screen when you're generating the voiceover. This will allow you to see the voice modulation of the source text. This is the voice modulation of the source text, and this is the voice modulation of the text that the audio that you have generated. So again, my waveform needs to be on maximum. And as you can see, the Bengali voice is extended only up to here, but my Hindi audio goes way beyond it. So in such a case, our job as translators is to review what we have translated here and see if you can shorten it in any way. So contextually translating the segment plays a very important role here. If the translation is word for word, then it might make it longer than the source text, which is not what we want. What we want is for that person to understand whatever the instructions are in the video, and for this contextual translation is necessary. Okay. In such a case, if you think you need to revisit the translation, you can always go to view click on show side panel, it will give you your search engines. You can use them for to blend the words in all four and create a different translation for yourself, or of course you can manually translate it and just generate the voiceover again. All right.
Can you please repeat?
Can you repeat this part again?
Okay, so as you can see, this is your this white segment is the original Bengali segment. All right, this blue waveform is the Bengali waveform. The voice is Bengali, this particular blue waveform. This yellow waveform is the voiceover that we have just generated in Hindi. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So as you can see,
Yes.
it does not match the length of the original Bengali segment. It has extended by quite a many seconds, and it's merged into the second one. So we want to avoid this. So how can we avoid it? One, your translation needs to be contextual. It cannot be word for word. If, for example, Namaskar Vidyarthiyo, if Namaskar Vidyarthiyo is too long, then you can shorten it to Namaskar Chhatro or Namaste Chhatro. This is contextual translation. You don't translate it word for word, but rather with the context of the original source text. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes. So what happens is target uh, if your target text is longer than the source text, then that means that there are more words in the translated section than there are in the Bengali section. That means that the machine has to speak more words, and that will increase my voiceover length. So contextual translation helps me to shorten it and generate a voiceover that is accurate for this segment. Okay, so once my voiceover is accurate, this yellow will turn to green. For example, if I say, so let's say that this translation is wrong over here. I have noticed it. I have erased some words, and now that the translation is accurate, just a second.
I have a question.
Yeah,
We have to write Hindi
this
anytime.
as in
If
I'm
I deleted some words
hmm
mistakenly,
hmm yes,
so do I have to write it down again?
yes, it's the translation, right? So if so the voiceover and translation will be in the same phase. It's going to be in the same video. So once you finish translating, you can move to the voiceover part in the same video. You don't have to submit anything. You can just start generating the voiceover. So you will have this translation option open at all times till you finish the voiceover part. So if at all, like right now, I deleted quite a lot of words from here. because I'm not sure if the translation is accurate or not. So let's assume that this is the right translation. But if I notice that no, this is wrong, there are some words that need to be added, then you have to type it in. Like I said, if you're using a virtual keyboard, or if your desktop or laptop keyboards have the Hindi keyboard downloaded, and you can type the Hindi words out on their own.
I don't have Hindi keyboard.
So you
Me
can
too.
use a virtual keyboard for this.
Actually,
You can use a virtual keyboard, or if you're working on a desktop, you can see these options right on the bottom right corner of my screen. You have an option for languages here, so you can choose what keyboard you want. You go to language preferences, you need to download the Hindi keyboard, and it will show up on your keyboard options. So you can just select. I have a Marathi keyboard with me, so let's say, so I can type it in Marathi directly, or in Devanagari rather. So like this, you can just download it, or if you don't want to download the keyboard, you can always go to Google and yeah, on Google you will have you can search for Google input tools, and you will be able to select what language you want to type in. I'll just share my screen with you for this also. In case anyone is facing any issues with the keyboards, you can go here, just look for Google input tools, this, say try it out, and then you have all of these options. So let's say I choose Hindi, so I can just type that out and this will be done. So if I type P, then it gives me all of these options. So if I want to type I just type Hindi in English and it will give me the option for it, and I can copy this and I can paste it on Rian. Okay, so if you don't have a Hindi keyboard, you can use Google input tools. Is that clear?
yes.
Okay. Okay, let's go back to Rian. All right. So okay, so we were on the yellow segment, right? So since this segment is too long, I have changed my translation. Now we assume that this is the accurate contextual translation for this Bengali segment. I go to machine voice, so I go to machine recording. I hit start recording. And it should give me another audio. But now if you can see, my segment is blue in color. Why does this happen? It's because the target voiceover is shorter than the Bengali text. So now let's say that I have realized that it's too short, so I have changed my translation to this. This is my accurate contextual translation. So I go here, I go to machine recording, I click on start recording again, and I hit play. So once your translation is accurate, then this segment should turn green in color. Let's look for a segment that can turn green for us. Okay, I guess we have a yellow segment again. Yeah. So, let's say that the second segment is translated accurately. We all know that it's not, but just let's assume that it's translated accurately. And I have generated the voiceover for it, and it matches the length of the Bengali audio. So this segment will turn green. So whatever I have translated into Hindi and generated the voiceover for, the length of that voiceover matches the length of the Bengali audio that we have translated. Okay, so has everybody understood what it means to have a green segment? Yes?
Yes, it
If its
will.
length is too short, like the first one,
Yes,
it will not turn green, right?
correct. It will stay blue.
So we have to re-edit again.
Yes, correct.
So we have to re-edit again.
Yes. So here, since I don't understand Bengali, I am not sure if the translation is correct or not. So right now it's just a jumble of words in Hindi that I've just combined to generate a voiceover for. But once you are translating the videos, once your translation is accurate for the Bengali text, you have to generate it, and it should turn green, because if the translation is right, then the length of that voiceover will match the um, Bengali audio. But if it doesn't, then it will either be blue or yellow. A blue segment means that it is too short. So in such a case, you need to bring it up to green, or at least up to the desired length of the audio. So what does that mean? Sometimes a segment will turn yellow, but it is within 500 milliseconds, which means that these three digits at the end over here will be 500 or less than 500. So if a yellow segment appears for less than 500 milliseconds, it is alright. You can keep it yellow. There is no need to get it up to the green segment. A deviation of up to 500 milliseconds is alright. But in case of blue segments, we cannot have any blue segments in the video. They have to be green or yellow below 500 milliseconds. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, a tool that you can use to generate the voices, the entire voiceover in bulk, is here. You go to speakers. Okay. So here we have speaker 1, male. I go to this edit speaker column. So now speaker 1. So you can either give him a name, or you can keep it speaker 1 as per your convenience. The gender is male. Text to speech server Rian TTS. Voice. So whichever voice you want to select for the entire video, you can select it. You can go to the individual segments, check if this voice works, or if you want a different voice for him, you can check if salesman voice works better for this particular individual. You can select it, and then you click on save. Yeah, so now we have saved the voice for this man. You go back to editor, You come to tools and just a second. Sorry, you go to the VO section and you say generate machine recording. So once you generate the machine recording, you say use voice linked to speaker. Okay, so this should change on its own. Considering we have used voice linked to speaker, you won't be able to change anything over here because it has already selected the voice that we added in the speaker selection. And you say schedule batch. So once you have finished the translation, you can just schedule the batch, schedule batch, and it will generate whatever translations you have. It will generate the voiceover for it. Okay, so it will generate all of the segments at once. So here, since we've translated only 2 to 3 segments, it will generate voices for just those translated segments. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the recording, once you have the all of the audios with you, once each and every audio is present, just listen to the Bengali audio.
Ma'am,
Then
can you
listen.
repeat how to
Hmm?
Ma'am, can you repeat
the
how
segments
to go
at
to the
once?
view section and the thing again after the translation part to edit the whole batch? How do you have to?
To generate a voiceover for the entire batch.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Yeah.
first you have to assign a speaker to it. So when I say assign a speaker, it means there are voices that that the software is trained for. So I go to speakers. All right, this is what I will see. I go to the extreme right corner. I click on this edit icon. I name the speaker, or you can keep it speaker 1 or speaker 2 or whatever you want to name this person. I select the gender of the voice. I select the text to speech server. Make sure that your text to speech server is Rian TTS. And then these are the options that Rian has provided. Okay, you have all of these voices, but avoid using the voices that are meant for the seasons, for example. All of these S12, EP, this means season 12 episodes. So if you have voices like these, just avoid using them. Try to go for the first 4 to 5 up to customer so that you have a pretty accurate match to the Bengali voice. So here I've selected Swayam Talks and I click on save. So now it has successfully updated the speaker. So that means every time that I am generating a voiceover for this man, the voice, I won't have to select the voice manually for each and every segment. It will save this Swayam Talks voice for all of the segments. Okay, and I go to editor. I click on VO. I say generate machine recording and I say use voice linked to speaker.
But here it shows female and Aditi. You have
Yes,
selected
so
male.
see, I won't be able to change anything here because I have selected use voice link to speaker. So now I'm clicking on target dialect, but it won't let me select. So once you say use voice link to speaker, whatever it says over here shouldn't matter because I don't have the option to edit it anyways. I just click on use voice link to speaker. I say schedule batch. It will ask, are you sure? Just say schedule batch and it will generate the view in bulk. So all of the segments. So here we have 45 segments in total. So it will generate the view for all 45 segments in one go. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But
Perfect.
if this occurs with us, if we save the speaker as male and here it shows female, then what will happen?
Sorry?
If we save the speaker as male
Hmm.
and here in the view portion it
Hmm.
is already saved as female, then what will happen?
Uh, if the video has a woman speaking, then you go to speakers and you select a female voice. So
Yes.
let's assume that the person speaking in the video is a female, or if there are two people. Has anyone come across videos where there are two people in the video or just one?
No, I had one.
Okay, so
In
if
my case, there was just one.
okay, perfect. So I guess it's just one speaker in all videos. So let's assume that the speaker is a woman. I come here, I select female, text to speech server Rian TTS. You have the voices here. So you can choose any of these that are not for the seasons and episodes. Okay, so you have Rachel, R1, R2, Nicole, Miriam, Neha, Serena, Sarah. So you can just check which voice matches. So when I say check which voice matches, I mean you go to the individual segment. I go to editor. I go to the individual segment. I go to machine recording, and I click on female and I select Nicole. I start recording. I listen to the recording and I check if this generated VO's voice matches the voice of the woman who is speaking. Sometimes the woman will have a very high pitched voice and the voice that you have selected does not resemble it at all. So that might sound a little funny. So just select a voice that somewhat matches the Bengali woman's voice. If it doesn't, then I can just select a different voice. I click on start recording, I listen to it, and once I am sure that okay, for this woman, I want to use the voice for Rachel, I close this, I go to speakers again, I click on edit, I select female Rian TTS and Rachel, and then I click on save. So all of the segments will save this Rachel's voice for the voiceover. Okay, is that clear?
Okay.
All right. Does
Yes,
anyone
sir.
have any questions so far? Any questions?
Voice is affecting the length, is affecting in the length.
Yes. So sometimes when the okay, so let's say Bengali and Hindi. Okay. So if the Hindi segment is longer than the Bengali segment, then this it will impact the voiceover deviation. So the generated text, whatever the machine is reading out, is longer than whatever has been spoken in Bengali, which is not okay because then this guy will stop speaking in Bengali, but the voiceover will continue, so there will be no lip syncing. So the Hindi audio will keep playing, but this guy won't be saying anything at all. So in such a case, you need to accurately translate it again and then generate a view for it once more so that you get a green segment or at least a yellow segment up to
So,
500 milliseconds.
so everything depends on the Bengali transcription, right?
Yes.
If I do it right, then everything will go smoothly.
Yeah. It's see, it's it matters not just for transcription but the translated segment also. If your Bengali transcription is accurate, then your translation is accurate. But even if the accurate translation is longer than expected, then you have to contextually translate it. Like I said, if Namaskar Vidyarthio is too long, then you can change it to Namaste Chhatro because it is shorter. It shortens the amount of time that the machine is taking to speak it. Even if it's by a few seconds, it does shorten the time. So,
Yeah, that I understand.
yeah, so if you contextually translate, then it should help you to get the segments in green. So please note this down. Blue segments are to be turned to green. The green segments are expected for all segments. But if in case you are unable to turn a yellow segment to green, then a yellow segment deviation is accepted up to 500 milliseconds. So these last three digits in the deviation section, these last three digits up to 500 is allowed.
Clear, master.
Yeah. Okay. So normally it will generate all of the, so once you hit the bulk recording, what happens is it will select all of the content that is in your target column over here. It will select all of this text to generate a voiceover for. So once all of these audios are generated, I request you to listen to all of these audios one by one. This option is present here. One second. So you get that option over here. See, play saved recording in the target column. So just play, listen to it,
नमस्कार विद्यार्थियों, आज हमारा विषय
play this and check if it matches the Bengali intonation. Sometimes, let's say that this particular word is emphasized on, it is spoken, there is an emphasis on this word, and that emphasis is not picked up in the Hindi voiceover. So that means that the generated voiceover is wrong. So I take my translation into the recording text. I click this arrow. This will give me the entire translation in the recording text. And then I have to add my emphasis. I have added the emphasis. And then I go here on the three dots to machine recording. And then I click on start recording. Then after that you won't have to worry about this because the speaker is already saved. So every time you enter the machine recording column, you will have your selected speaker already in the voice column. So you click on start recording, you hit play, okay, and then you listen to it. If it matches, well and good. Otherwise, you make changes in the recording text and then you generate the audio again. Okay. Is that clear? Hello, is that understood? Does anyone have any questions?
It is clear.
No, ma'am, clear.
Okay, perfect. So we will send you the glossary for punctuations over mail. Please try to finish your curation today itself so that we can push your videos to translation. so that you can at least begin translation and begin working on the voiceover. So in tomorrow's session, we can address all of your doubts and queries on the voiceover and translation part. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, after
Okay.
curation, I am texting you
Yes.
that I am completing my curation.
Yes, please.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Don't submit the videos on your own. Just drop us a text so that we can review it once and then send it through for translation.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay?
And for
And
those who have done curating, will we get our translation portion tomorrow, today?
yes, yes. If you have finished your curation and if you have let us know, then we will submit those videos and we will assign you the job code for translation and view via mail.
Okay, okay.
Okay? And in that mail itself, I will send you the punctuation glossary.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hope everybody has understood what punctuation glossary is. It refers to the punctuations and their functions in the recording text. As I said, the punctuations in recording text are not there for grammatical correctness. They are there to help you with the intonation. And another point on intonation, I'm so sorry, I think I skipped it. Another very important point for intonation is in the machine recording part, you have this bar called character expressiveness. So it can go up to 50, but that's too dramatic for an instructional video. So I suggest that you keep it between 1 to 3, not more than that. The character expressiveness is what will help you to give a sort of higher pitch or an excited tone, or if you take it literally, it heightens the expressiveness of the voiceover. So since this is an instructional video, you might not need the character expressiveness, but if in case you think that in this particular segment you require the voice to be slightly high pitched or a little more expressive, or if the voice is too monotone, then you can use this character expressiveness bar for to your convenience. Just try this out. For one, you can use it from 1 to 4 since this is an instructional video, but if you think you need to take it higher, then you are welcome to do so. Try it out and then you can click on start recording and it will generate the voiceover for you. Just a very important point to note about voiceovers: once you generate a voiceover, you need to be sure that that voiceover is accurate. If you generate it again and you think no, the previous voiceover was better, you will not be able to go back to the previous voiceover. It is deleted from the system. So if you think no, the previous voice was better, this needs more improvement, you have no other choice except to generate the voiceover again and keep generating it till you get the modulation that you require. Okay, you cannot go back to the previously generated voiceover. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
I have done the curation part, so I'll be getting the same video for the translation.
Uh, Let me just check once. Just a sec. Could you just tell me your job code, please?
No?
Could you tell me your job code, please?
J triple zero
Hmm?
054
Yes.
374.
374. So we will try to give you the same video that you have worked on. If not, there is a chance that you will get someone else's video to translate and generate the VO for.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So just a quick recap of all of the pointers. Make sure that phonetic typing is off. In the file, the autosave option has to be on at all times. After every 12 to 13 segments, like I had said in yesterday's training also, just make sure you're saving this file. For, for the translation part, you will need your side panel where your machine translation engines are present. You can use these and an additional fourth called Bhashani, which we will be adding to your videos. You can use these 5 translation engines for contextual translation and accurate literary translation. You will require the target audio waveform in the curation part. I hope everybody has noted down what columns need to be seen on your screen while generating the VO. You do not require the side panel. You will require the target audio waveform, the timeline, the media player, the individual audio recording, the recording text, the speaker, the audio deviation, and voiceover options. If in case you are facing any issues in the voiceover, you can enter your comment over here. Just drop us a comment. Let's say that the voiceover absolutely cannot be generated and you need help with it. You can just type out need help with voiceover. Okay, you can also mention why. For example, cannot get the pitch right. Okay, so that we also have an idea of what exactly it is that you need help with, or if you have made any particular changes to the audio. For example, added extra words to recording text for audio deviation correctness. So if you add this comment, then I will know that the translation and the generated voiceover does not match word for word, but it is contextually right. So when I say added filler words, it means if there is a blue segment and it's just a few seconds away from becoming a green segment, then I can add filler words. When I say filler words, it means a hesitation or words like or if you want the voice to take a breath, you can use punctuations to do that, which will be present in the glossary. So you can add all of these in the recording text column and generate the VO for it, all right, to make it a green segment. Okay, I hope filler words are clear. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. So I think that is all for the voiceover and translation. If anybody has any questions, I'm all ears.
Actually, for the total project to be done, there are 3 steps.
Yes.
First, we need to check the transcription, then we need to check the translation,
Mhm.
then we go to voiceover and these things.
Correct.
So when we actually take the word,
Hmm.
then don't we don't have to do this in one day, right? Like I'm actually asking, those 3 steps doing them in one day will take, I think, for me, a great deal of time.
So don't worry about the time right now. Just learn the software properly, learn the tips and tricks, and learn the process of it. We can revisit
Okay.
the timing later.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No question.
Okay, so I think we can end today's training session. I request you all to complete your curation videos, and if you've completed them, just send us a message. We will assign the translation job codes to you, and you can begin working on the translation and voiceover. Both me and Gayatri will be in the office, so if you have any questions, you can call us and we will try to solve your doubts on the spot. Okay. Of course, if you have a list of queries, then we will discuss it in tomorrow's training session, and we will go over everybody's videos that, as in whoever has issues in videos, then I will share my screen and we will deal with those videos together. All right.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you all for joining. Thanks a lot.
Ma'am, please send today's recording.
Yes, I will send the recording. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.